I have got the 10 watch out situations and fire orders for you. We're going to go through all 10, and at the end of the video, we're going to break it down into which categories are which. There's fire behavior, there's safety, there's command and control, and finally aggressiveness. And I'll get into the aggressiveness towards the end of the video. Stay tuned for that. Hi, I'm Corby, and I'm a former wildland firefighter, and I want to share my knowledge with you. If you've never seen me before, I'm here to help you learn how to become a wildland firefighter. Maybe you want to pursue it. Maybe you want to get into it. I'm going to make videos about how to do all that and my personal career. Let's jump right in. Number one, keep informed on fire weather conditions and forecasts. It's so important to know the weather. The weather and fire behavior go hand in hand. Like if it's going to be a hot day, low humidities, your fire is going to spread a lot faster. If it's wet and the marine layer is pushed down, the fire's not going to be able to do a whole lot of activity. That's a whole class in itself right there. That's Remy. Welcome to the party, Remy. She's here to stay. She's chasing squirrels and all kinds of things. She's here for the party as well. Number two, know what your fire is doing at all times. They post lookouts. Lookouts are people that go out ahead of the fire or that had a vantage point up on top of the fire that can look out and see what's going on. It's so important. If your fire is laying low, creep in a little bit, but all of a sudden the wind's been at your face and now the wind's at your back, there's a telltale sign something might happen with your fire. Always know if it's blowing and going or if it's creeping. It's so important, so important. Number three, base all actions on current and expected fire behavior. What you're going to do right now is dependent on the fire. If the flames are low, can you go in and do a hose lay and put it out, or maybe some handline construction? If the flames are a bit taller, like is it going to be an air attack show, so you're going to have tankers and helicopters? Maybe some bulldozers can get in there and do some work. If the flames aren't too high, like how big are your flames and what's the fire going to do? And what's the behavior? If it's jumping and blowing and going like these big campaign fires like the Paradise Fire or wildland fires up in Chico, the Paradise Fire, those fires, like you just have to get way out ahead of it. And at that point, it's life over property. So it's important to know what you're chasing. If it's calmed down and you can chase that fire, knowing the behavior of that fire, then you got a good grip on it. If it's blowing and going, stay out of there. Don't do anything. Don't do crazy. She's over there now chasing another bug or mosquito eater. They're comical. This is real life, people. Real life right here. Know what your dog is doing at all times. Number three. Number four, identify escape routes and safety zones and make them known. Make sure if you're getting into a fire and you're fighting fire and you've been given an assignment, know where your safety zones are. That's so important. That's so important. Whether you're with your vehicle, your fire engine, your bulldozer, your crew buggy, your engine, maybe you got a utility, know where your safety zones are. Even if you're on the hand line, what are you going to do if you're 1,000 feet into a hose lay and all of a sudden the winds take a shift at you and now you're up without a paddle, if you get what I'm saying? Know where you can go to have a safety zone. Make sure the whole crew knows, not just the people at the front, but what if you're doing a hose lay and there's 10 or 15 people behind you and you guys up front know, but the people in the back think they're going to go back running up the way they came and it's quicker to go downhill because it's safer. Just saying, make sure everybody knows where your safety zones are. Number five, I talked about this a minute ago. Post lookouts whenever there's a possible danger. Look, we're fighting fire. There's a possible danger at every turn. At every second, there's going to be a danger. Make sure you have a lookout. It's going to be somebody experienced. It's going to be somebody that knows a little bit about the weather, the topography that you're working in. They're going to need a vantage point to see where their crew is at, what's out ahead of them, what's behind them. If the fuel's behind the fire, if it was a dirty burn and it could reburn, or if it just came through and just took everything out and you don't have to worry about fire coming up from behind you. Make sure that the person has got a radio that works. They could be by themselves for hours upon hours. Maybe it's nighttime, so they need flashlights and neon things to put on their shoulders, on their bags, so people can see them from other ridgelines, so they know where their lookout is. Always have a lookout watching after your crew. or a division or a branch or whatever, however big the fire may be. It's so important to have a lookout. Always have a lookout. Number 6, be alert, keep calm, think clearly, and act decisively. Base your actions on each one of those. Always be alert. Always, it could be your 23rd hour on there and you've been fighting fire for days and just years spent, but you can't let your guard down. You can't get complacent. You have to know if things have calmed down a little bit, yet the fire has been blowing up all day and now it's calm. Do we need to be alert? Do we need to be thinking clearly that something could happen, or did the fire just go to sleep for the night because that marine layer came in and pushed the ceiling of the sky down and now it's cooling off and you can make some aggressive attacks? Act decisively. Don't do something that you're going to regret. Make sure you make a decision. Make sure everybody knows what that decision is. That's more about the 18 situations that shout, watch out, but that'll be another video that I'll do for you on those 18. Number 7, maintain proper communication with your forces, your supervisor, and adjoining forces. Make sure everybody knows, like I said, make sure everybody knows what's going on in the little division that you're working in and at a bigger picture in the broader sense. And make sure if those tactics and strategies change, that your supervisor knows. Maybe you went down a hose lay and you had a couple hundred, maybe 1,000 feet of hose on you and you ran out of hose. Now your tactics are going to change because you got to cut handline because you're out of hose while another crew goes and gets more hose. Make sure your supervisor knows that, hey, ran out of hose, we're sending 4 people back for hose, we're going to start cutting handline in the meantime. We're direct, we're indirect, this is what it looks like down here, we can do it, we can't do it, we have to bail out. Make sure everybody knows. Adjoining forces, if you're having a blow up on your division, make sure the next division or the next branch over knows that that's coming and that's, if they're out ahead of it, hey, guess what? In another hour, maybe in 20 minutes, it's going to be to you guys. We're giving you a heads up. Number 8 is so important. These are all important, but give clear instructions and make sure they're understood. Make sure that when you say we're going to go cut handline from A to B, that everybody's on the same page and nobody goes and grabs a hose pack and some nozzles. No, we're not laying hose right now. We're going to cut hose lays, or we're going to cut handlines. So you're going to need chainsaws, Pulaskis, McLeods, shovels, and rakes. Make sure everybody's on the same page and make sure that you know what everybody's going to be doing. That is so important as well. I mean, these 10, they're all important. Each one of them, without the next one, you won't have the last one. Without the next one, you need the one after it. Number 9, maintain control of your forces at all times. Things are going to get crazy. You're going to have helicopters dumping on you. You're going to have airplanes dumping retardant. You're going to have chainsaws. You're going to have bulldozers. You're going to have your radio going off. You're going to have, depending on what time of is it IA, initial attack on the fire? So chaos is everywhere, like people are trying to get a hold of it, or are you a few days in? You never know, but you always have to maintain control of your forces. Make sure everybody's calm, collective. If things are starting to get out of control, let's bring it back. Let's get together real quick. Let's maintain that control, and let's make sure that you know what to do and what's going on. Chaos, you're not going to act decisively. You're not going to think clearly. None of that's going to happen. You're not going to have proper communication. Just maintain control and just make sure that everybody knows what's going on. Number 10, this is a fun one because I worked with captains that this related to, but you have to provide for safety first. Fight fire aggressively, but always have safety in the forefront, right up front. You're gonna need that safety, but man, if you can stop that fire at 5 acres, an acre, half an acre, but you're gonna get in and get dirty and do it, then guess what? It's gonna get hot. You're going to get dumped on with retardant. You're going to get dumped on with helicopters. You're going to have all that noisy craziness. But if you can hold that fire to 5 acres, an acre, 10 acres, maybe, hey, guess what? You did your job and you did it right. Everybody's getting back in the fire engine at the end of the day and going back to the fire station. Do it aggressively. Let's go back to the beginning for a second. There's 4 major topics about this. Fire behavior covers the first 4. Fire behavior is what the fire's doing. What's it going to do? How did it start? Safety is the next 2, number 4 and number 5. Have your escape routes and safety zones. Escape routes, a big one. Maybe your safety zone's back at the fence back there. But what if I'm about 30 feet away and we got 30 feet out, but now our hand line is blocked for something. What's your new escape route to your safety zone? It changes. It's always changing. Make sure that you always have those escape routes set up, known to everybody, and those safety zones are right there ready for you. Number 6 through number 9 is command and control. Make sure you have leadership and clarity with everything that's going on. Make sure somebody's in control. I was on a fire once and they sent us down a hand line, and as soon as we got down we were down about 1,000 feet, and all of a sudden there was fire everywhere. Everywhere there was fire. It was creeping in the woods, skunking around here and there, and it wasn't really doing much. But guess what? The leadership, we didn't have any. We passed an inmate crew and they said, we're getting out of here. This is dangerous down here. We're not going. So I was like, okay, we'll go a little bit farther and see what's really going on. I went out ahead and I said, no, this ain't. My leader was up at the top of the hose at the fire engine, and he was the boss for the night on that shift. And guess what? I made the call to turn everybody around. I was the first one in, and I turned around 5 engines and another hand crew. So 25 and 16, probably about 40 people with everybody involved. And I said, nope, everybody out. The wind's changing. It was at my face, it's at my back. It was about 2 o'clock in the morning. We knew that the weather changed about that time, and we were in a canyon. I said, nope, there's no leaders down here. I'm gonna be the leader. Nobody's gonna be behind me. Let's go, let's get out. I made that decision. We left the hose down there that we were putting in, and the next morning we found out that it burned over, and the next ridge is where they caught the fire. So it was a good decision to get out. Always have leadership, always have clarity, and know what you're gonna do before you get into it. The last one, like I just talked about a minute ago, aggressiveness. Fighting fire is fun, as long as it's done safely. Make sure that it's always done safely. That's such a big point. And man, I just can't. Fighting fire, I'll tell you again, I'll say it again, fighting fire is fun, but safety is number one. Thank you for being here. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. I'd be glad to answer them for you in a video through the comment section. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. I thank you so much. And on your journey as a wildland fireman, check out this video on seasonal or full-time. What is it for you? And I'll see you in the next video. It's gonna be a good one, I promise. I freaking love you.